All right, we're going to say Shalom with the Hebrew Israelites. We come week in and week out, in season and out of season, to prophesy the downfall of America. To prophesy the downfall of this wicked system, okay? And blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the chosen seed. According to these biblical prophecies, okay, the holy book, which is the Bible, this is our book, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. This is our book, our history. It was written by the Israelites and it's for the Israelites. Okay, whether you chose to believe it or not, but we come out to sound the alarm. We come out to sound off the trumpet to let the people of Negro, the Indian, and descent, to let them see that it's now high time to wake up, because we don't have long before the coming of the Messiah. So we're going to go ahead and start out with this lesson on this beautiful Sabbath. We want to say Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom Akiyam. Shabbat Shalom Atwa. Through the spirit and power of Yahawashi, we're going to do this. Yahweh, who the world knows as God. Yahawashi, who the world knows as Jesus Christ. Double honors to the elders and salutations to the brothers that's preaching and teaching the truth in sincerity. Okay, that's waking up one sheep at a time, which are blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans for the last time. You are the Israelites. So we're going to have a wonderful Sabbath. We're going to do this outreach lesson, and we're going to hope that we can reach many deaf ears and blind eyes out in the earth today. Through the spirit and power of Yahawashi. But I'm going to open this lesson up. What I said, 2 Ezra chapter 1, verse 5. I think that's it. Yeah, 2 Ezra.
2 Ezra chapter 1, verse 5.
Come on.
Go thy way and show my people their sinful deeds.
Okay, that's what we're doing. We're showing the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans what they're doing wrong today. Because if it's not lining up with these scriptures, it's not of the Most High. Go ahead, Al.
And their children their wickedness.
See? Because there's a lot of wickedness going on from the black, Hispanic, and Native American man, woman, and children. Go ahead.
Which they have done against me. That they may tell their children's children.
See? That we may tell the children's children, the next generation. Okay? That's why they talk about a Generation X, because they planned on eliminating a lot of you so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American children. Okay? By this evil system they don't set up to brainwash us to keep us asleep. That's why the next generation ain't no threat to the ones that's against us. Because they planning on exterminating the next generation to come about. That's why they have this quote-unquote Generation X. It's not for the heathen children. It's for the blacks, Hispanics, and Native American children that they are plotting to destroy. So we got to edify our children so they can edify their children's children to let them see what's really going on. Go ahead, Al.
Verse 6. Because the sins of their fathers are increased in them. For they have forgotten me and have offered unto strange gods.
See, we forgot about the Most High. We don't put the Most High in the back. Okay? When you rise, when you lie down, people not thinking about the Most High, the Holy One of Israel. They thinking about their daily whereabouts, whatever they doing, they thinking about. They ain't thinking about the Most High. They're not thinking about the Holy One of Israel. That's what it's basically talking about. People have put the Most High at the back of the line, man. People have put the Most High way at the back. I'm talking about at the back to the point you can't even see it, because they want to do their own thing and don't want to acknowledge the Most High. Go ahead.
Verse 7. Am not I even he that brought them out of the land of Egypt?
See? Because he brought us out with a mighty hand. We know about that. The history of Exodus tells you about that. Go ahead, Al.
From the house of bondage. But they have provoked me unto wrath.
See? We provoked the Most High to wrath. Now, how do we do that? We violated the law, statutes, and commands. That's how we vote the Most High to wrath. We violated, let me take these glasses off. I want to see me today. We violated the law, statutes, and commands. The Most High gave us a constitution. I ain't talking about the government or constitution. I'm talking about he gave us a spiritual constitution. And what is that? These laws, statutes, and judgments. What did the black, Hispanic, and Native American man do, including the women and the children? We broke the commandments. We broke the contract that the Most High sealed with us. That's how we provoked the Most High to anger. Because we didn't live up to what we said. All right, go ahead.
And despise my counsel.
See? Despise this counsel. Can't get some of these so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans to keep the holy days. Can't get them to do it today. They want to continue to run with these holidays, these American customs. They so Americanized. When we bring the truth before them, we show them what they really supposed to be doing. They can't do it because guess what? They don't take the exaggerated effort. Neither do they have the heart or the mind or the soul to do it. See? So that's what it's talking about. Go ahead.
Verse 8. Pull thou off then the hair of thy head, and cast all evil upon them, for they have not been obedient unto my law.
See, so a lot of us don't know we the children of Israel. That's why we got to come out. We got to edify the black, Hispanic, and Native American man, woman, and children, because they may think this ain't talking about them. They may think this talking about another nation. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our people don't know that we the people of this book. We thinking that this book is the white man's book and the Arabs, the Chinese. We thinking it's every other nation book but our own. So a lot of our people don't even know that this is our guideline. This is the navigational system in order to receive in the kingdom, which is already here. It's just not in 100% effect because why? We have a lot of more brothers and sisters to wake up, all right? But a lot of our people have failed and they ain't trying to understand who they are because they've been sucked up by philosophies, customs, lies, falsehood, and deceit. Well, by the land of their enemies, the land of their oppressors. So they ain't trying to seek it out. But that's why we come out to tell you whether you believe this or not. All right? You got something you want to bring up?
The precept for this actually is Psalms 83.
Psalms 83 and 1. A song of Asaph. Keep not thy silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. Psalms 83 verse 2. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
See, the enemies are all nations other than the nations of Israel, other than the 12 tribes, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. See, what they have come and done, they have taken crafty counsel against us, and that's what David is about to get into in the prophecy. Keep going.
Come. Psalm 83, verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They have done what?
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
Go ahead.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
Who are the hidden ones? The 12 tribes of Israel. That's why, and they're not hidden from anybody but themselves. Why? Because we don't know who we are. We have discontinued from our heritage. Keep going.
Psalms 83, verse 4. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
What did the heathen say?
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
What did the white man say?
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
What did the Arabs say?
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
What did the Chinese say?
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Keep going.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
That's why you call African American. That's why you call so-called Hispanic. That's why you call Native Indian, Haitian. Because your nationality has been cut off by your enemies. Because they understand that we are superior on this earth. They understand that without us in authority, they can maintain dominion. Go to Deuteronomy 7:6. I'll get that real quick.
Okay, this is Deuteronomy 7 and 6. And it reads, it says, for thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Now, time out. What does the word holy mean? It derives from the Hebrew word kadash, which means set apart, a separate people. Go ahead,
It says, for thou art holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God have chosen thee.
Chosen thee, the 12 tribes of Israel.
God.
Go ahead.
To be a special people unto himself.
A special people unto himself, the Most High God self. Keep going.
It says, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Below all people.
Okay. Upon all people that are on the face of the earth.
Equal to all people.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Understand this. equality is not in the Bible. That's a Pharisee. Understand this. The Most High God has chosen and selected us to be a peculiar people, above all people. But you understand, for much is given, much is required. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 15 real quick.
Okay.
You understand? The Most High God chose us. And he said if we obey his commandments, he was going to put us above all people after we came out of Egypt. But if we disobeyed his commandments, if we transgressed from the laws of the Lord thy God, that he said he was going to put plagues on us.
Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Now the 12 tribes of Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, did not hearken, did not listen to the laws and statutes, commandment, were not obedient to what the Lord has commanded us and how we are supposed to live and uphold ourselves. Keep going.
It says, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake.
All these curses shall come upon the 12 tribes of Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian, and overtake us. Give me 48 real quick.
Okay, this is the 48th verse of Deuteronomy 28 chapter. And it reads, therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies.
Serve who?
Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies.
Serve who?
Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies.
Thine enemies. Your adversary. Understand that. Whoever whom we are serving, which are the heathens, ultimately, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are under, either they're under whites, either they're under Africans, either they're under Chinese, wherever we scatter abroad on this earth, we are the second-class citizens on this earth. So the Most High God, this did not happen on coincidence. This is a curse from the Most High God, Yahweh. Keep going.
It says, which the Lord shall send against thee and hunger.
In hunger. Now, where do we get our food from? Who owns the agriculture? Who owns all the land to bring up the food? Keep going,
It says, and in thirst.
And in thirst. Who owns the water companies? Our enemy. We don't own the water companies as blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, brother. Keep going.
It says, in nakedness.
And in nakedness. Now, who owns the textiles? Who owns all the factories to manufacture the clothing in which we wear? We don't. We get it from our enemy who is above us at this current time period. Keep going.
It says, in want of all things.
In want of all things. That's why we got to go to our enemy for everything that we need. All of our necessities, we don't produce ourselves. We have to go to the enemy to get that. And that's because of the curse, because we broke the commandments of the Lord thy God.
Like water, like you got to pay your water bill, your light bill, your car insurance, your rent, all this type of stuff, man. We are oppressed. Okay, so we're not really living it up how the Bible prescribes for us to be living it up, because we've been subjected under a curse for disobedience. Okay, it says, Deuteronomy 28:48, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
He shall do what?
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
Now, we all know during the transatlantic slave trade, the so-called Negroes had yokes of iron put upon their necks. This is a historical fact. We're actually about to bring out some images on that. This is a historical fact that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, when they went into bondage, and this is just the most recent captivity. But we can go back to the Babylonian. We can go back to the Assyrian. We can go back to the Roman and Greeks. The children of Israel always were put in captivity with yokes of iron upon thy neck. You see what I'm saying? This is prophecy that's being fulfilled today. You see? Come.
Yokes of iron. So the scriptures, man, the scriptures on point. The scriptures on point. That's why you can see right here, it says slavery is Bible prophecy. Okay, you can see the yokes of iron that was put upon the so-called Negro, Hispanic, Native Americans' neck. Right here. So that's how you know we the Israelites, because when you examine these curses, you have to go throughout these curses to see what nationality of people fix these curses. See, and and the so-called people of Negro, the Indian, and the Sint, the lost 12 tribes of Israel, these curses, we the ones that fit it, man. See? So that's what the Bible is telling you, man. The Bible is speaking about the atrocities that will happen to our people for the disobedience of God's laws. Right? Okay. Let me see. I got something. I'll bring out. You got something else? I'm going to bring out something. I got something.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, so it was talking about that he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Now, even though, like, okay, we're going to say 1863 to 65, supposedly Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. All right. You may say, okay, that's when Abraham Lincoln freed slaves, right? No, he didn't really free the slaves. He just emancipated the slaves. Basically, now the hard bondage that we was in servitude to, it kind of eased up when Abraham Lincoln signed the Proclamation of Emancipation. But the yokes of iron, they will come off literally, and then they will have a new system of yokes of iron, which is mental bondage now. See? So today you may look around and say, well, what is talking about? We don't have yokes of iron upon our necks today. Basically, it's not literally today. Basically, the yokes of iron that's been placed upon you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today is more of mental bondage. You have the yokes around your brain now. You have been mentally enslaved. Now, it did start off being literally enslaved, but after Abraham Lincoln supposedly signed the Emancipation Proclamation, a lot of people been led to believe that the yokes, you know what I'm saying, we ain't in ties to the yokes no more. But basically, we are in ties to the yoke, because I'm gonna tell you, having the yokes of iron on your brain mentally is worse than having the yokes of iron on you physically. That's right. See, so we've been mentally incarcerated, mentally duped down, brainwashed, and we've been enslaved mentally today. So that's kind of twofold for the yokes of iron, being upon us when it actually happened, and being upon us today as in the form of mental bondage. All right.
If you could, you give me Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4.
Okay.
But what you gotta understand is, a tree without its roots is dead. You see what I'm saying? It may dwell, you may be able to see it, but if it does not have its root, ultimately it does not have its source and its essence of life. Right. And so is it with the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Because we do not have an understanding of whom we are. We've been robbed of a knowledge of self. We call ourselves African American when these are two colonizers. You see what I'm saying? Two colonizers which have nothing to do with our fathers, with our progenitors. Right. So Jeremiah about to get into that. Go ahead.
Okay, this is Jeremiah 17, verse 4.
Go ahead.
And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thy heritage.
Even thyself shall discontinue, which means be cut off, cease from thy heritage, from our culture, from our history. That's why we don't know what happened to us prior to the transatlantic slave trade. Right. But yet you must understand that we are the true Jews of the Bible. Right. You see what I'm saying? We are descendants of King David. We are descendants of King Solomon. We are direct descendants of Yahweh Shah. You see what I'm saying? But they didn't want us to know that. Because they understood that they knew that, then the kingdom of God would be established within us. You see? Keep going now.
It says, and thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies.
He will cause us to do what?
Serve thy enemies.
Serve thy enemies. What happened when we came over to the shores of America? Right. We served our enemies. Right. We served our enemies. Matter of fact, give me that Deuteronomy 28:6 real quick.
Okay. Oh, you want me to
finish that?
It says, I will cause thee to serve thy enemies. And it says, in the land which thou knowest not.
In a land which thou knowest not. We didn't know America prior to our being kidnapped and brought over here. You see what I'm saying? We were from Jerusalem, but we were pushed out of Jerusalem in 70 AD into Africa and different parts of the world. But we were not in America prior to this transatlantic slave trade, for the Judeans at least.
Right.
Keep going.
It says, in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in my anger which shall burn forever.
We upset the Most High God by breaking His commandment. Right. Now, how do we get to America as blacks, Hispanics, or excuse me? How do we get to America? How did the Negroes get to America? Slave boats, right? Well, that's in the Bible, and we about to get there.
Right. This is Deuteronomy 28:68. Because the Bible is nothing but a history book for this particular nation of people, which is the nation of Israel. That's all it's doing. It's trying to show you that basically this is your historical guideline to show you where you end up today. This basically from point A to point Z to show you basically what's going on. This is Deuteronomy 28:68. All right, and it reads. It says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
The Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Now understand this. This word Egypt is simply a Greek word derived from Egyptos, which means bondage. But wait a minute, let's prove all things. Give me Exodus 20 and 2.
Okay, this is Exodus 20 and 2. On the behalf of Egypt, being the house of bondage.
That's right.
It says, I am the Lord thy God, Yahweh, thy power, which I have brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
Out of the land of what?
Out of the land of Egypt.
Keep going.
Out of the house of bondage.
Out of the house of bondage. So we have the edification that Egypt, through the precepts, that Egypt means bondage.
Right.
Because we of course know that the of course at this time period the landmass of Israel was landlocked with Egypt. You see, so it will be no need for the children of Israel to go into that physical landmass of Egypt with ships. But this is a spiritual and this is a spiritual landmass of Egypt, which is the spirit of bondage in which we will undergo in this landmass. Keep going.
Okay. So it says that the Lord, Exodus, Deuteronomy 28:68 says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
With ships. Go ahead.
By the way whereof I spoke unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again.
It said the children of Israel were not going to see their homeland again.
Come on.
And as it is with the so-called Negroes, we still in America after 400, almost 500 years of captivity, and we have still been in bondage.
Right. It says, and there you shall be sold unto your enemies.
There we should be what?
You shall be sold unto your enemies.
It said when we go into this landmass of bondage on ships, that we were going to be sold unto our enemies.
Right.
These prophecies fit parallel and direct with the children of Israel, which are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Because when it says that, people want to act like they don't understand what it's talking about. It's talking about the transatlantic slave trade.
That's
basically.
right.
Some may call it the triangular trade or the middle passage. Now, it happened from the 1600s to the early 18th century. Transatlantic slave trade. So even though the Bible doesn't directly, even though it doesn't just actually say transatlantic slave trade, you can put two and two together and see that this is talking about the transatlantic slave trade. Actually, Moses prophesied this like 3,000 years before it actually took place. See, so this was prophecy concerning the transatlantic slave trade about the so-called Negroid people, or some may say African American people, the black people, which are the Jews according to the Bible. This is historical history, biblical historical history, to show you how did you end up over here? How did you end up over here? For the breaking of God's commandments. That's Deuteronomy 28:68. So people want to act like the Bible don't support the transatlantic slave trade. It's right in Deuteronomy 28:68. It says you shall be sold to your enemies. So it didn't say friends, allies, associates. It says enemies. When you go back and when you do your own research and see who were the so-called people of Negroid descent sold to, you're gonna understand then these people must be our enemies. Now who we sold to? So-called white man. They may say the Caucasians, Europeans. We were sold to those people. Leviticus 25 and 47. This is a precept of Deuteronomy 28:6-8 because it tells you in the 68th chapter of Deuteronomy 28, it said that you shall be sold to your enemies. And it says, for bondman and bondwoman, this happened to the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And it says, and no man shall what? No man shall buy you. That means redeem you. We're going to show you that there was a time where you can be redeemed. But right here in Deuteronomy 28:6-8, it's talking about the only one can redeem you from these curses is the Most High. Let's go to the time where you could be redeemed. Read Leviticus 25 and 47.
Leviticus 25 and 47.
Come.
And if a sojourner or stranger wax rich by thee, and thy brother that dwelleth by him wax poor, and sell himself into the stranger or sojourner by thee, or to the stock of a stranger's family, verse 48. After that, he is sold, he may be redeemed again.
See, so that was a time then back in the ancient world, even if you were sold, and even you were to sell yourself to your brother, it was a time where you could be redeemed. All right, that's it? Okay, so right there, that's talking about the law of redemption, because at the time, if you sold yourself as a slave, you could be redeemed. But you stop on the 49 verse. Okay, read to the 49 verse.
Verse 48. After that he is sold, he may be redeemed again. One of his brethren may redeem him.
See, one of his brothers may redeem him. Go ahead.
Either his uncle or his uncle's son may redeem him.
See, so that ain't talking about chattel slavery, hardcore slavery, because there was a redemption period. where you could be redeemed. See, go ahead.
Or any that is nigh of kin unto him of his family may redeem him, or if he be able, he may redeem himself.
See, so there was a time where you could redeem yourself, or somebody in your family could redeem you. But in Deuteronomy 28:6-8, it says that no man shall be able to buy you, no man will redeem you. Why? Because the only man would be able to do this is through the spirit of power, Yahweh, the ultimate creator, and his son, Yahweh. All right? Those are the only ones that can redeem the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans from this curse. So if you're looking around wondering, like, why haven't we received redemption? Why hasn't we received equal rights, equality? Why we still being treated as though we are nothing, 3/5 of a human? Why the government still looking down on the black, Hispanic, and Native American man? It's going to continue to happen until you straighten up, until you go ahead, until you return to these laws, statutes, and commandments. Nobody can redeem you from this oppression. See, we look for everybody. Like, we look for political activists, Sojourner Truth, Marcus Garvey, you know what I'm saying? You had Harriet Tubman, you had Frederick Douglass, you had a lot of political activists that stood up, black activists that stood up, Malcolm X, you know, try to redeem us from the situation that we was in. But guess what? They all died. See, so there's no redemption for the black, Hispanic, and Native American man if you think a redemption gonna come in and a political activist rising up and saving you from your circumstance. The true redemption is through Yahweh, sitting on shot.
That's right.
All right, you guys sign up. Cause we still suffering these curses. We suffering these curses because of disobedience. People say, I don't understand your mind state. You got to get your mind right. The only way you can do that is following these laws, statutes, and commandments. Okay? That's the only way. You want to continue to go ahead and keep on sinning and grinning. You want to continue to be evil in the earth. You want to continue to smoke, drink, go to these late night clubs, do your own thing, mistreat others. You want to steal. You're not faithful to one another. You know, you want to mistreat and exploit your brothers and sisters. Okay, the women don't want to live by these scriptures. The brothers don't want to submit themselves by these scriptures. You want to keep doing that? Guess what? Guess what? You're gonna forever be in this situation. Okay, until you understand the true redemption is Yahweh Shem Yahweh and the Apocrypha, the books that was taken from the Bible. All right, by the Roman Catholic Protestants. It says, "This is the book of the commandments of God and the law that endured forever."
See, understand this. The scriptures of old and new are all one. See, Christ came in the volume of the book. These no laws of this book are done away with. That's a lie by the Christian church that was pushed to include paganism.
Right.
Now, matter of fact, hold that. Give me Matthew 5:17.
Okay. Think not that I've come to destroy the law of the prophets.
Think not that I come to destroy the law of the prophets, because Yahweh, he didn't come to destroy the law. Keep going.
It says, "I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill."
But to fulfill. Now, a lot of people will proclaim that he fulfilled them when he died on the cross. Keep going, and we're going to get better edification on that. See if he fulfilled it when he died on the cross, or if it's not going to be fulfilled till he comes back. Keep going.
Verse 18 on Matthew chapter 5. "For verily I say unto you, to heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled."
Until heaven and earth pass. And as far as I'm concerned, heaven and earth has not passed yet.
Right.
So the law has not yet been fulfilled.
Right.
So what does that mean? That means we are still under the law.
Right.
See?
So, yeah, and he was also saying basically the law, in Matthew 5:17, he said, when he says, "Think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets," the law is the first 5 books of Moses, because they called it the Torah. Okay, Torah, which means law books. So those are the first 5 books. So he said that he didn't come to destroy the law that was established by Moses. Moses was the lawgiver. Also, he said the prophets, because those are the major minor prophets, you know, which is the major prophets, I believe, Ezekiel, Isaiah, you know, Jeremiah. They're major prophets. And the minor prophets like Hosea, Zechariah, and all the rest, Obadiah. He said the reason why he said that he didn't come to destroy the law of the prophets, because it's certain prophecies that have not came to pass yet.
Right.
that has to be fulfilled. That's why the Christian church, they go off by saying that we don't study the Old Testament books, or we're not in the Old Testament of time. We know we're not in the Old Testament of time, but it's still prophetic messages that have not came to pass in what you call the Old Testament, which is the Old Covenant. That's why it can't be destroyed. That's why the law will never be destroyed. Okay? Because before the law becomes in full effect, all this stuff must take place. Go ahead, finish on 18.
Go ahead.
Matthew 5:18. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law to all be fulfilled.
So the law has not yet been fulfilled because, as brother just said, the prophecies are yet to be fulfilled in large amounts of the scripture. And so go back to Baruch.
Okay. All right, this is Baruch 4:1. This is the book of the commandments of God and the law that endureth forever.
That endureth forever. Keep going.
It says, and all they that keep it shall come to life.
And now all of those blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that keep these laws and statutes of this Bible, whom was given to us by our Father, the Most High God, through our ancestors and passed down to us, we shall come to life. Not necessarily a physical life, but a spiritual life. Because, see, as we are now, we are the valley of the dry bones. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we don't know who we are. We've discontinued for our heritage. So following these commandments, coming back to our life, which is the laws and statutes and commandments in the Spirit of Christ, will we bring back our life and bring back our heritage. Keep going.
Right. And say, all they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die.
And see, if you leave the laws, statutes, and commandments, you're going to be put to death.
Hey, a precept, let me get a precept for that. Proverbs 21:16. Because he was saying that all they that leave it shall die. So blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you don't want to submit yourselves to the policies of God. Guess what? You're going to die. Now, I know what you're saying. We die someday anyway. Okay? Because we know death is just really an illusion. All right? But what is this really talking about? It says, all they that leave it shall die. Okay? That means to be mentally, spiritually, and physically destroyed, man.
Right.
Okay? Because some people become trapped in their coma in their next life to come, and they can't get out of it. And they're wondering, like, what's going on? Okay? That's real death, man. When you get trapped in your coma, there's no way to come out of it. The Most High ain't even dealing with you in the spirit. He don't took away the spirit. You don't even know who you are. You will be forever trapped in this three-dimensional frame. That's real death. Proverbs 21:16.
Proverbs 21:16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead.
See? So if you don't want to submit yourself to the understanding of these scriptures, read it from the top again. What it say?
Proverbs 21:16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding.
That means that you wander out of the way of understanding. That's the laws. You don't care. You care less about keeping them. It says what?
Shall remain in the congregation of the dead.
So you're going to remain in the congregation of the dead when you choose not to submit yourself to these laws, statutes, and commandments. Now we know there's no end to what you call this. There's no end to life, really. There's no end. It's an everlasting journey. But to remain in the congregation of the dead is to come back trapped. In your own karma, man. They come back trapped. Okay, you're gonna get more hell and you're gonna get more hell in the next life than in this life. You're gonna keep recycling this process, and it's gonna be hell on top of hell, karmic death on top of karmic death. That's true death, man. Because death is basically some of us are already dead. Because to run outside the way of understanding, that's not to keep the commandments. So most of us spiritually dead already. We just walking dead already. Anyone that's not submitting themselves to the law, statutes, and commandments, they zombies. They walking dead. See? So the true life is what? The law, statutes, and the commandments. It's another one. Another precept about that in Revelation. 11th chapter. Revelation 11:8.
Revelation, the book of Revelations, chapter 11, verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city.
Now that's talking about the Israelites. Revelation 11 talking about the two witnesses, which is the two kingdoms of Israel. Is the house of Israel and the southern kingdom, which is the house of Judah. Israel became a divided kingdom and on the time of Rehoboam, Solomon's son. So when Israel dissected, you had the house of Israel, which is primarily the Hispanic or native tribes, and then you had the southern kingdom of Israel, which are the Jews. Those are the two witnesses in Revelation 11 chapter. Revelation verse 8 tells you that they are dead bodies. Who? These witnesses dead bodies. These black, Hispanic, Native Americans dead bodies. So what?
It says, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city.
What's the great city? America. That's the great city. A lot of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are spiritually dead. There they go again. Because they don't want it out the way of understanding. So that's why I say it's in their dead body shall lie in the great city. This is not a physical death. This is a spiritual death. Go ahead, Art.
It says, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
America, that's called Sodom and Egypt. Because America is known for a high percentage of homosexuality. Okay? Homosexuality that was legalized by President Obama in America. And it's also called Egypt because America is in reference to bondage. All right, it's a place of slavery, just like ancient Egypt. That's why they got the Egyptian pyramid on the back of the dollar bill as a symbolic of America being a house of bondage. All right, so this place is called spiritually Sodom for homosexuality and bondage for the enslavement of the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Go ahead.
Where also our Lord was crucified.
See, so we know Yahweh wasn't crucified here. So what it's talking about? They crucified him spiritually with all this whitewashing. That's what it's talking about. When they chose to acknowledge the true image and the countenance of the Messiah, when they fail to acknowledge the true image, they want to put up this Renaissance art, okay, and want to tell you that the Messiah was a white man with blonde hair and blue eyes. You know what I'm saying? That's how they crucified him spiritually. We know they physically crucified him on the outside of Jerusalem, but they crucified him spiritually with this white supremacy and told you that the Messiah was a white man. See? So that's what it's talking about. You got something you're going to bring out?
I got the revelation of Yahweh Shemashia.
The revelation of Hamashiach Yahweh, who God gave it to him to show and to his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John. Revelation 1 and 14. His head and his hairs was white like wool.
Now this is the revelations of Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shemashia, and it just noted that his hairs and his head, which means the hairs on his head and his face, were white and woolly. White like wool. White being the color, wool being the texture. Alright?
Okay, so it says his hairs and his head and his hairs was white like wool.
White like wool. Keep going.
As white as snow.
He had a pure white hair. As far as his color, it was purely white. Keep going.
And it reads on. It says as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire.
And his eyes as a flame of fire, because it was custom for Jews to drink wine at early ages. And it's twofold. It's also symbolic of the strength and the power of Yahweh Shemashia. For any strong man, if you were to look into the eyes of him, it would devour one because of the strength and the authority in which he maintained.
Come.
Keep going.
It says, and his eyes were as a flame of fire, Revelation 1 and 15.
Right.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
Now it says in his feet. Now we all know the color of one's feet is the same as the color of the entirety of the rest of their body. So it says, read that again.
It says, in his feet like unto fine brass.
In his feet like unto fine brass. Brass is a derivative of brown. If any of y'all have a penny, take it out, and that will be an example of you what the color of brass is. Similar to my garment. But look, that's not all. Keep going.
It says, his feet was like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
As if they what?
As if they burned in a furnace.
So brass burnt in a furnace. Anything burnt in a furnace will become blackened, especially brass. So Yahweh Shemashia, Jesus Christ, was a dark-skinned, what you would call today, a black man. You see what I'm saying? And he came from the tribe of Judah, which the so-called Negroes come from. Give me that in Hebrews 11 and 8.
Okay. Because they want to try to hide the fact that the Messiah was pale skinned. You know what I'm saying? They try to give us these false images because they don't want to acknowledge the true image of the Messiah. Okay. Hebrews 7 and 14, all right? This is what it reads. It says, for it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah.
And who is our Lord? Yahweh Shemashah, Jesus Christ. And it's evident he came from the seed from the house of Judah, because he descends from the loins of Jacob down the family tree.
Right.
See?
See, so it says that it's evident, Hebrews 7:14, that our Lord sprang out of Judah, of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood. Because the priesthood, basically, because even though Hamashiach Yahushua is called high priest, he wasn't a Levite. Basically, because he became high priest when he died on Calvary. He ushered out the Levitical priesthood order. That's why we're not no longer under diverse washings or animalistic sacrifices and things like in that nature, because the Messiah became the ultimate high priest. But even though being called a high priest, that don't mean that he's a descendant of Levi. Okay, that's why it says that he spoke nothing concerning priesthood, because we know that Yahushua came from the fourth son of Jacob, which is Judah. All right, being the king of the Jews. All right. So all right. You got something else? You got it. All right. So now we're gonna go to Jeremiah 14:2. All right, Jeremiah 14:2. Because people wanna. Well, we just brought out scriptures in Hebrew. I mean, not Hebrew, but we just brought out scripture in Revelation 11:8. Revelation 8 and 9. How they did what? They crucified the Lord and Savior, which is in this America, which is spiritually called Son of Egypt. How they do that? Iconoclasm. Then, as the brother brought out in Hebrews 7:14, gives you what tribe that Yahushua came from, which is the fourth son of Jacob, which is Judah, because Judah is the progenitor of you so-called Negroes. Now we're gonna show you what color are the Jews, so you can see that this all been set up. All right, Jeremiah 14:2.
Jeremiah, the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2.
Come.
Judah mourner.
Judah mourning. The real Jews ain't mourning. See, those fake Jews, they prosperous. They own everything over here. Corporations, franchise, everything you can think of is about, basically owned by those fake Jews. So they not the real Jews because they not in mourning. Who in mourning? Who crying for equal rights? All right, who crying for governmental benefits? Which we don't need to lean on the government, but that's what we do. Who crying because we stuck in this condition, this state of condition, which you call hell? The real blacks, the real Jews, the real black Jews, the so-called Negro. That's what it means, Judah mourning. Go ahead.
And the gates thereof languish.
Gates being America, they languish because they not pushing truth in America. Now the truth rising up on an all-time high, but the gates been languishing because these people are not really telling us who we are. Go ahead.
They are black.
What color the Jews are?
They are black.
The Jews are black, okay? They are black. That's why I say Judah mourning. The tribe of Judah is black people. That's what it's saying. Now, did we not bring that out in Hebrews 7:14? It told you that it's evident that our Lord sprung from where? Judah? So that would make him black, right? So how do we get a pale skin image of Christ today? See? It's a joke, man. See, the scriptures are beautiful. They say they are black what?
Unto the ground.
That goes back to the Adamites being black as well. Because Adam and Eve, like they depict in Christianity, they weren't pale skinned neither. Okay, Adam and Eve, the pre-Adamite nation in the Garden of Eden, which was Jerusalem, Eden being the earth, they were dark-skinned, melanated people. Wasn't nobody pale-skinned during that time. Especially not in the beginning, in the Garden of Eden. They came on later on down the line. But this is what we've been fed, man, in America. These are the lies that we've been taught. All right, that's it.
And the cry of Jerusalem is gone up.
See? And the cry, you better believe the cry is reaching the heavens now. Because waking up one black, Hispanic, and Native American at a time, we crying out because we oppressed and we send and we offering up spiritual gifts to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And the Most High just gotta get us more, like he gotta really just bring us together because we still not united the way we supposed to be. But the elect of the nation of Israel is definitely crying out to the Most High to save us from the hands of our enemies.